Hey, beautiful people. I'm Mila.
Hey y'all, I'm Monika.
And thanks for joining us.
Hey family, hey friends, hey Monica. How you doing, girl?
Hey y'all, I am well.
Okay, we'll take that. Is that the mantra to start us out today?
That's the mantra because I honestly forgot what I was saying at the beginning of the year. I'm still working that out.
Okay, well, hey, that's real. We'll get it together. Oh, I love it. Well, I am excited, of course, about this episode. We have our first guest of the year, and it is going to be a fabulous episode. I mean, I promise, listen to the end. You will feel blessed. You will feel like you want to take care of yourself, which is always a good thing. You'll want to
Yes.
pour into yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it is a good conversation. It is like a four-way chat. So it'll be Monica, I, our guest, and you. And it is going to be a lot of fun. So before we get the party started, how was your week, Monica?
My week was like I said, crossing off, things on my list, my 5011 list. Taking one day at a time.
Okay.
Because I was trying to recall what did I do this weekend? I did went we went shopping for pots for the kitchen.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
But they're making these new pots where they actually have spouts so you don't spill when you pour into things now, and then the strainer is like on the lid. Like,
Mhm.
girl, I was like, this is just so much easier.
Yeah, it's that minimalization, like taking up less space.
Right.
Like you don't need now, like you said, a colander or an extra this or an extra that.
Mm-mm.
It's all in one. Yeah, I love it. Evolution in the
Okay.
kitchen. In the kitchen.
I mean, we all gotta eat, and
Yeah,
I hope everybody knows how to cook something.
I hope so too. I mean, you never know. I like to remind people I didn't get this delicious and not know how to do something in the kitchen. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, because if a power grid go out,
I know how to take it to the grill. Okay, I know what to do with some coal. Oh, and I don't need no lighter fluid. I got this. So
okay, because
I
you can't plug in anything.
no,
All
no,
right,
no, no. We outside grilling. A power outage won't stop us. Okay, not
I'm
at
gonna get
all.
a cast iron skillet.
Yeah, you
I
better
mean,
have
that's
one.
that's Black History facts, right?
Truly, truly, I think everybody, I mean, if you're of a certain age, you should have either inherited one from someone in your family or to have one in your own personal collection because cornbread is better that way. Certain food just has to come from the cast iron for it
I
to be
got mine.
proper.
Okay.
I think so. Okay, look at you, not letting us forget it's Black History Month. Well, my week. I'm definitely of that same spirit that you have, that taking care of business, getting things accomplished. Oh my goodness, it's a wonderful feeling. Kind of trying to walk more purposely. So I am really feeling those good vibes, and of course, you know, making the most of my time. So that's just how I'll put it. But speaking of making the most of time, I won't, girl, I guess I'm knocking over the word on the street, okay, is that I'm knocking over things too. But just so that I don't hold us up, because this interview, this sister like love fest. It was so amazing. I felt good. Like when we were done with it, Monica, did your spirit feel like light?
Yes, always uplifted. Always
Oh,
uplifted.
thank you. Please tell us about our guest so you get the family ready because we're introducing you to a real Seattle gem. So, take notes or go to our show notes, visit us on all of our social media platforms, and you'll be able to see about our guest, find out how to reach her, get in contact with her, and you'll also see. some of what we've been up to the last week as we've been taking care of business. So that is a shout out for our TikTok and our IG and our Facebook pages. Okay. All
YouTube,
right.
Twitter, Threads. I think that's
Bam.
everything.
Thank you, Monica. Okay, I was about to say Monica's the one to be knowing. Okay. So Monica, tell us about our guest.
Myesha Mitchell, she is the owner and operator for My Time for Massage. She is a highly experienced and sought after licensed massage therapist in the Pacific Northwest. Myesha has over 12 plus years of experience in the medical field. She is also a birth doula and a community advocate, along with being a wonderful mother. Her treatment styles is a balance of education and treatment, helping her clients reach their health goals with relieving muscle tension, reducing stress,
Mm.
medical conditions, reducing symptoms, also assisting with mental clarity, improving sleep, and much more.
Yay!
Oh,
Hey!
yay! We are so excited to have you here with us on this wonderful episode where we're really going to be focusing on, health and well-being.
Yeah.
So welcome into the podcast,
Thank
Myesha.
you.
Yay!
Thank you. I appreciate the hospitality.
We love it, and we love your services. We have all experienced being under your gifted
Magical
hands.
hands.
Yes,
Thank
yeah, and
you.
we really appreciate it. So we are definitely looking forward to the conversation today. So
Thank you. Yeah, you
mm,
guys got me over here, big cheese, and I'm smiling hard. If you wanted to see it, you could feel it though. I'm sending,
okay.
I'm sending it in my vibe.
Oh, and hey, and those are all the my vibes. I mean, Maisha, you have the best energy, the best vibes. I know. I before we start getting into all the all the good stuff, I know that you were recently nominated for an award. You won an award on your services and what you do for the people up in the PNW. So,
Let them
can you
know.
tell
Let
us?
them know.
Yes.
Yes, well, they already introduced me, but I'm going to reintroduce myself. My name is Myesha Mitchell, licensed massage therapist and birth doula, community advocate, and I do a lot of work in advocacy, so I'm going to talk about that too. But I was recently nominated for Best of the Northwest by the Seattle Times, and
Yeah.
I won third place. So,
Go.
for me, I've been doing this for some years, almost 14 years, but I've been licensed in private practice in Seattle for 10 years.
Mhm.
So I'll be at 10 years actually July 1st. So for me, this is a huge year to have that happen last year. It felt good to get some flowers,
Yeah,
The
some
recognition.
validation. Yeah,
Yes.
you've been
Yes.
out here doing the hard work. Okay.
Yes, and then again, to a lot of people who don't know, there's not that many Black massage therapists. Like, I do a lot of work in research and wellness, and literally we're only 15% in the United States that are Black and licensed doing this. So the fact that I'm doing this in Seattle and in private practice, you got to think about the numbers when it comes to that too. I beat
Hmm.
out, these big time hotel chains and spas, and I was one of the only ones that was in private practice and the only one that was owned by a woman under 40. So I
Girl.
Okay.
definitely, I'm very, very happy to be able to celebrate this year and just really be able to show, the PNW that yeah, there's Black businesses out here and we are doing our thing, and we're doing our thing not just on a minimal level but on an excellent
Excellence
level. And
level.
so
Yes.
Yes.
I definitely I'm so grateful to even be doing what I'm doing. So thank you all.
Oh yeah, girl. Because I know that Monica on the in the past couple of years that we've been doing the podcast, we have had to shout you out because Monica loves turning people on to you. And once I got a chance to go into your safe space, because what I do want to at least start telling the people is your space that you have created. for your services. It's so peaceful, it's so tranquil. And once you kind of get in there with all that good energy and then you just start
Cozy.
talking and work, yo, yeah, it's amazing. So
Thank
big ups to you on that, sis. That's what we're about at Auntie season, is celebrating them wins.
you.
And like you said, under
Yes.
40, getting it done. And maybe you will inspire someone today as well to think about massage, to think about what that does for other people. That is a way to be in service and in care without necessarily having to be a nurse, but you play a lot of roles. So I know you're therapists
Yeah.
in there sometimes. And girl, I know I was crying. It's a beautiful experience. So
Thank you. And a lot of my clients, I've had for a very long time, so I'm really grateful to have that longevity. I have people who've been working with me 7, 8, 9 years, so like to even have people stick it out and want to be, in your presence. I know that security is a priority for anyone. It's such a vulnerable space to be in, and you're all in the nude, and you don't know that person, and
yes.
Right.
having to be able to make sure that person makes you feel safe and secure and
Hmm.
comfortable in your skin. And I really love to empower people to love themselves, love their body, and to know that we're worthy of that time for self. So that's exactly how I even came up with the name. With my time for massage was a lot of people, the main reason why they don't get massage, or if you ask them about it, is just like, oh, I don't have time. So the
Right.
reason why I named my business My Time was because I really wanted to make sure that you knew that it was for you. And also too, because a little play off of it, double entendre, myself,
Hmm.
my nickname is My. And so I being able to have a little piece of myself in there with giving myself to others was huge for me too. So it's
And they
definitely,
and they know it's
yes.
an investment. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, yeah, and it is. Some people think about businesses, and it was like my business to start. I'll be real. In the beginning, it was very minimal investment. I didn't invest that much into my business and space as I have now. I've definitely
Right.
invested a lot of money.
Yeah.
But
But and
in
it
the be-
shows. And it
It
yes,
shows,
comes
thank
with
girl.
you.
time. Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
because in the beginning I did not have no money. I was broke. So, where people, like think about how someone starts a business, it was like, no, I didn't have it. When I started my business, I was actually homeless or unhoused at that time, and I was staying just couch surfing and trying to figure it out. A little about me, I'm a mother as well, and so I had my son at that time was a preteen, and I'm from Seattle, born and raised, and definitely had some traumatic experiences, life and with me, a lot of
Hmm.
different things too, and not having a lot of support. And but massage was something that always I was called to.
Hmm.
And I really wanted to see if I could make it a business, because everybody I worked for, I always was being devalued, but I always had the best numbers. I had the most repeat clientele, and I had a lot of jealousy behind that as well. So,
Hmm.
and again, to be working in a space too where it was predominantly, not people who looked like me, and then
Hmm.
for me to be a Black woman, that was very threatening for people to see someone who could do it. It's like, what is she doing? Why do they keep rebooking with her? And it was just like, I didn't even have the confidence completely in myself, especially because I was in poverty and just really trying to figure life out. So
Hmm.
another reason why I'm here today too is just to let everybody know, like, you're worthy of seeking those dreams, because I went from me, really making $800 to $1,500 every 2 weeks working jobs to, me working for myself and making $800 to $3,000 a week. And now numbers are even more in a different place. So
Oh yeah,
it,
girl. And
it,
I
Well,
know
it,
that
let,
too. Now
let me
I
it,
was like message. I was like, I hope people really hear what that message is. Like you said, it's invest, and that's what you're gonna get. This episode is nothing but gems with
right.
mine. It's
mhm.
like
But
investing.
I did want
Mm.
to ask Myesha, because you said you've always had that calling. Um, when did you know you had the calling for, to become a massage therapist or to be in service to others? Like, when did you realize that, or, how did it come to you?
I definitely know I've had it multiple times in my life. So when we were in massage school, they asked us that. That's like one of the questions they say, like, we want you to really think back to when's the first time you gave someone a massage. And for me, I know the first time that I really was into it and enjoyed doing it was for my father. And so I started doing massage when I was 4.
Okay.
And my dad was a contractor, and I would
Hmm.
analyze his body. And I could see what things were wrong with him even as a child. So I'm like, oh,
Wow.
your low back, or I was like, is that your back hurting you? I was like, is your foot? Because I see him, like limping. So I was
Hmm.
doing assessments on him at
Mm.
4. And so he come in and he's like, yeah, my boots, wearing steel toe boots all day.
Right.
And I'm like, I want to make him feel good because he's a provider. He's taking care of the family. My dad was always like on top of finances. And so I was like, I wanted to make sure that he felt good. So it's like that nurture in me was very alive and well, even as a child. And eventually I started doing it for him and walking on his back and doing all the massages for him. My mom is like looking like, what are you doing? And I'm kind of doing it for her. But my mom was not as keen to touch as my dad. She's a little more sensitive, like, that's not comfortable, so it's like so I was like, okay, I'm doing it
Yeah.
for him. But I started getting good at it. My dad started tipping me. So he started giving me the money and change out of his pocket from lunch and stuff. So it's like I was an entrepreneur at 4. I was putting it in my little bubblegum bank and saving my little buddy up. So then when I went downtown with my mom, or we went out somewhere, I had my own little money in my little purse. Like I could buy my own stuff. So it's like that
Mm.
independent piece, that
Yes.
entrepreneurial
That's where it
piece.
starts. Yeah.
It
Hmm.
starts. And so I think that, but as a child, like nobody thinks of that as a gift or
Hmm.
something that could be part of you, but it very much was early on.
Right.
So it's like, I see now as again, I'm a mother myself. So it's like, my oldest is 23 now and my youngest is 5. And so like, even with that, I see a different space of myself, even as a parent. And so with my 5-year-old, I try to nurture those
Yeah, yeah,
things
I was gonna say, yeah,
very,
very nurtured.
very
Yeah.
early. So if I see that he's like really has an interest in something, I try to push him towards it. So one of the things that my son loves to do is sing, and he has a really good voice. So it's like I cannot sing that well, but I'll be sitting there trying to play off things with him. And and I think it's all about really nurturing those gifts with your kids early on so they get the confidence to know that they can do it.
That part. Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
it came back to me again later. I was in a relationship, my first real long-term relationship, and from 17 to almost 25. um but this young man I was with, he was training to be a professional boxer. So I used to do massages on him, and I was doing again what I know now I learned in school was intuitive touch. So
Mm,
I was
okay.
doing sports massages on him, and he was obviously very muscular, super defined. And so I used to go by his body and stretch him and doing things too, just naturally. And I thought I was good at it then, but he
Right.
was he was very controlling. And so, he was like, my career's taking off. You can wait, do that later. And, being young and thinking like, this is going to be the person I'm going to be with her the rest of my life, like thought I had that forever love. It
Hmm.
wasn't that. And I was dismissive of what I felt. So it's like, even thinking about then, like I could have been in business for myself younger, but I didn't think it was possible. And I didn't have the right support systems to encourage that. So,
Mhm.
when it came back to me again later on, the third time, was when I had started a business while I was in massage school. It took off. It kind of like pushed it to the side. I didn't think I was going to really even do it like this at all. I thought I
Hmm.
was just going to do it as a like a hobby business. Like I was just going to do it for friends
Right.
on the side, a little extra money while I went back to school for my degree. And then when I started my first business, actually took off, and then it failed. And I was like, okay, now I'm starting over again. And that's when I went through the hardship time of me losing everything. I had got it all and lost it. So that's one of the things too. I think like people, if you really talk to someone who's business oriented or has a business, that it has ups and downs. Like I
Peaks and
definitely
valleys,
Ebbs and
peaks
child.
and
flows.
valleys.
Yes.
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 And so it's like I definitely have had those flows where it's like, oh, it's really good, thinking, I'm living life my best life, and then it's like, oh, it was all taken from me. And
Mm.
so now, like to see where I'm at now, it's like I really want people to really know you have to fight, because if I hadn't stuck it out through those rough times, I wouldn't have been able to see what I see now. And I always tell and encourage people. I'm like, yeah, I make more than most people with degrees.
Right.
And
Thank you.
even for me, like I'm a young woman that was a single mom, and like, really did not I don't have a college degree or anything like that, but I
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of education and background in my jobs and skills.
Experience,
Mm-hmm.
knowledge.
Exactly. And I used that and applied it, and that helped me so much in my business now. But even with me being more experienced, there's still a lot to learn. There's always more to do. That's why
Right.
you do have to invest back in yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
keep investing in your skills. And I've done that a lot throughout the years, and that's what shows. That's what's
Mm-hmm.
kept me at this level that I'm at. But it's definitely a lot of work because I've been in solo practice a long time. So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm trying the next steps for me is really to expand my business more, scale it, and to get more comfortable building a team. And
Okay.
That,
so,
yep, that's
so
Yeah, I mean, you know what? That's the thing, because now you're on that growth trajectory. You now have the accolades, and people know of your practice, and you are definitely booked, but you still get people in. But yes, you need to
yeah. And you
develop
have
a team. Yeah.
skill to train other people. Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
And
So kind of sticking with that, then we definitely thank you for giving us a little bit of your testimony, Mai. And what's beautiful about you is that you're very transparent even when you're giving your services. But I just was curious though, in your opinion, what's the difference between or the importance of self-care and self-maintenance? I've been seeing that kind of debate a lot online, like, okay, no, getting a massage, that's just self-maintenance, da 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 da, that's self-care. But since you're an expert in the field, what does that look like to you? What are those expressions even? What do they even mean?
Yeah, and when a lot of people say that, you got to think about who that's coming from. So when people feel or think that way, a lot of the times it's because they don't do it themselves. And so it's like, if someone doesn't do regular massages for themselves, of course they're not going to think of it as self-care or self-maintenance. But that's just like, to me, I always have to clarify to this, like, I am a licensed healthcare provider, so I'm actually licensed with the health department. I have gone through hours of training and certification. I have to do it regularly to keep license.
Thank
So,
you.
I am in the same category as a PT, a acupuncturist, a naturopath. So it's like a lot of people are dismissive of that. The time that I spend with people is longer than you usually would spend at your average doctor.
That's the truth.
So,
I said that's the truth. Now,
and
my,
so,
I just want to
so
make this point, and I don't mean to even cut you off, but I do have to say this, hun. You, in a way, it almost feels like you are dismissing because you said, "Oh, I don't have a college degree," but you know what? No, you have skills. You have certification, like you said. You do have studying because see, there's a spirit where people think, "Oh, I can just walk off the street and do any old job," and I'm like, "No,
yes,
no, 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 no. You have
Mm-mm.
been trained. You have
yes,
been studying, you have been learning. So let's not
yes.
sell that, let's
Oh,
not
yes.
sell yourself short. I mean,
Thank
we know that
you.
this month we're
Right.
celebrating Black doctors and physicians, but
Yes.
also, and people who work caregivers. And you are definitely kind of right in between both of those. And you've had to work hard and you have studied things. So I wanted to make sure I put that out, sis. Like, I'm someone that has a
Thank
4 year
you.
and all that, but I'm like, no, ma'am, what you're
Thank
doing, the
you.
level of what you're doing, and like you said, constantly continuing to grow and learn, and the recertifications and the things you have to do. No, 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 no. You're not just some bum random person on the street that like, oh, I can massage you with my elbows.
Well, and
No, you
see,
Mm-hmm.
actually know the
thank you.
Right.
You know
techniques.
what? I appreciate you so much, and thank you for saying that, because
Mm,
it is, even for me, I'm probably one of the most people, like, once they like see or look at someone with that level of like accolades or reviews or whatever,
just you have
like
stellar
they get
reviews.
they think
Yes.
that like, oh, like, I'm a very humble person.
Hmm.
And so because I've been through so much too, like, even I don't even always look at myself as the way even other people look at me.
See you, yes,
Mm-hmm.
because I
So
see you, sis, and that is
thank
really what
you.
Auntie season we are about. Okay,
Thank
Monica and
you.
I, we give out these flowers, and we
Yes.
definitely appreciate having wonderful women like you in our circle. So I'm like, no, 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 sis, because from in 1 minute you're saying, oh no, girl, I don't have the background, but then I have to do licenses. I've had to be certified. I did have to go
No,
to massage
yeah, no,
school.
you
Yeah,
pay
girl, you
fees
got
like
it.
everybody else.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Thank you. And that's the thing. And I think another reason too, even for me, like, it's hard. Like, massage is definitely very much gatekeep. And it's one of the fields too that is so helpful for preventive, but it is definitely something that's a classist system.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're looking at things that are systemic, especially being black, black in America, most people do not do massage. Like, I didn't grow up, watching my mom and dad go and get massages
Not at
regularly, or
all.
seeing, cousins, or, other
Mm-mm,
aunties or
mm-mm,
uncles doing it.
mm-mm.
It's very much looked at as like, oh, it's bougie, or
It's like
this is some,
therapy.
it's
Yes,
like,
it's not
yeah,
for us.
it's
Yeah.
not for us. Like, like, I don't need that. Like, I don't need to do that. So I'm always very much like advocating for us, because I know, like, how important it is to see more of us. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very transparent, as you said. So it's like, majority of the women that I see on the regular in my office are predominantly white. And people assume because I'm a black provider that automatically I'm just getting black people. No, I'm not. Like, I'm
No.
living in an area where it still is predominantly white. In Washington State, like, we don't have a big black population as some other areas. It's growing, and we're seeing more people who are open to doing care and open to supporting each other because of conversations like this. And so I definitely have learned through the years that advocacy is key. So I would, reach out to people directly. I put myself out there to share my story, to share my personal story, especially with people who look like me, to let people know, like, I'm no different than you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming from a place where I want to see you. Like, I know a reason why a lot of people don't feel comfortable, because we've been through so many layers of trauma. We got to think about PTSD. We got to think about PTSS, post traumatic slave syndrome. We got a lot
Mm,
of generational trauma that's
facts.
different than other communities. Definitely, it's like, I have native background as well, so it's like, that is the next to me, that I feel like I'm passionate about both communities,
Right.
Hmm.
to be able to make sure, because we've experienced so much hardship
Yes.
that we're
So
often dismissed. And it's so to me at this point, it's blatantly obvious that it's been something by design. And so, in the work that I'm doing, it's like, I can't lose myself in why I'm here, because at the end of the day, I'm a black woman, and I always
mm-hmm.
will be that with black children. And I
Mm,
want them to know better by what they see from me, and also by how I educate them. And I need to see other people understand that. So when you go back to the question of what you said, the difference between self-care and self-maintenance, massage is both. You
mm,
know, it depends on how you view it, because it's a mentality. And
Right.
so for me, I try to teach people that needs to be a mentality, because when I'm talking to, most of my clientele that I have, they don't just do it here and there. It's not just a treat. I tell them, I'm like, there's a difference between a treat and a lifestyle.
mm.
And
Exactly.
so, they live this as a lifestyle. It is in the budget. Like, I need to do
Oh,
this for my care. This is for my health. There's
sidebar.
yes.
Not to sidebar. So how I got introduced to massage therapy, uh Mila and I used to work at the same company years ago, and they
Mm-hmm.
had, because they knew what type of work we were doing,
Oh, girl.
they had a massage therapist come in and pay for like 30 minutes or 15 minutes of
Yeah,
it.
it's however much of your lunch you wanted to book.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
so that's how we got introduced to it. And then I
Mm-hmm.
followed that massage therapist, and that was in our early 20s. So
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it- like companies, or they knew that we would need that, so that kind of
Yes.
that stuck with me. So I made sure that, the next company I went to, I worked at a credit union, they had a massage therapist there also.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I
And
love
there's
that. And
and there's
that's good work. That's good
mhm,
and
work
there's a
too.
lot of companies do it, and it's beneficial to them. They
right,
know that, because at the end of the day, if you are healthier and you're going to be at work, you're going to be more productive. We want to see you
exactly.
happy. We want to see you healthy. We want you to feel valued. You
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
feel valued because we're investing in you too. We're
Yes.
investing in making sure that we have someone else here. So that's going to make you have higher security. I have a company that, pays me to do on site every 2 weeks right
Hmm.
now for their employees. I'm there for 4 hours a day,
Okay.
and, their employee morale has went through the roof from me being
Yeah.
there. And, it helps with their insurance. So they're saving on their insurance costs. It's like, even though they're investing, they're actually saving their company money too, because if you're somebody's doing regular massages, they have higher immunity. Their immune
Right.
system is
They're
less
not
Mhm.
calling in sick.
compromised.
They're not.
Mhm.
Yes, so people are less likely to have injuries. They're saving on,
Mhm.
L&I cases. So I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many layers to it. So it's like, if a company is doing that, you got to think to yourself, like, why do you not value that for you?
Right.
Thank you. And I'm laughing because now all these companies are trying to get people to come back to work,
Yes.
and they want to keep and retain quality employees. And you just hit it out the park with a great way to do it. And yes, Monica, that was a very relevant sidebar because man, that lady, her bookings, she be booked as soon as they put that list out, like, you want to come in and see her? Yes. And I feel like if you want to get employees to come back to the office, and you want to, want people to want to be invested in their job, make sure that their self-care is on point. So I love that. And
Yes.
also, I do just want to also put the point out there that your passion is for BIPOC or Black, Indigenous, people of color, but you actually do everybody, girl, and you minister to everybody. And I have to say,
Yes.
it feels, because when you leave a session with you, you do feel uplifted, and sometimes things that you didn't even think were bothering you. I mean, because you do massages all kind of ways. Sometimes you're quiet. If the person wants silence, you just
Mhm.
they'll tell you, I don't want to speak. I just want to kind of feel my body. But then
Mhm.
if they're like, you know what, no, rub me and talk to me and let's work this out, sis, girl.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean,
And that's the thing that's different. And I want to really state that too, because that's a misconception too. Because a lot of people just have like this image of massage that's like stereotypical, right? It's like
Mhm,
this box massage, like, oh, it should just be relaxing, like it needs to be quiet. No, like sometimes a session could be us talking. Sometimes it might be you crying.
mhm,
Sometimes it might be, us being like in conversation and a little bit of quiet too,
mhm.
because the more comfortable that you feel with me, the more relaxed you're going to be. So
Right.
why do I want to just allow someone to feel uncomfortable in my presence versus them feel more comfortable by them being comfortable knowing who I am?
So
So
explain the different types of massages then, because some people are under the impression, like you said, they're just going to come in for some type of box massage. But
yes.
Mhm,
Then and I'm like, and that's the thing too. Even for me, I'm like, I'm not for you. Like every person is different, just like everybody in the world, right? So it's like
mhm,
a provider. You have to look for the provider who's the best fit for your personality
hmm
and what you need. So for the people who see me, I like to tell people, you want to be open. You want to be open to not think of any other thing else. Don't put me in a category of a chain. Don't put me in a category with any other therapist, because I am me just like you are you. And I don't need to compare any of my clients that I have. And I see 25 to 35 people a week, but I don't need to say, oh, this everybody's body the same, because they're not. Everyone's living different lives. Everyone's been through different experiences. Everyone has different levels of care that they need based upon that. And
right,
so I adjust to each person that I see. So the style of massage that most commonly people get is Swedish. So Swedish is something that you're typically getting when you're like, I'm on a vacation in Mexico. They're on the beach and they're giving a little massage for you. Even in some of the chair massages, you might get more of a Swedish too. But if you have things going on and you're like, oh, my shoulder has been bothering, then something like a deep tissue or a sport massage is going to help, because deep tissue helps with chronic pain, and a sport massage is going to help to release those overcontracted muscles with a combination stretching. So there's different styles that I incorporate. So I actually use all three styles. I use Swedish, deep, and sport massage, but I combine them based upon that person's body and what they need at each time. So I'm not a cookie cutter session. So a lot of the times when I say that's because there is a difference. So some people will be like, I got a membership at blah blah blah. If you got a
mhm.
membership at blah blah blah, I'm telling you right now, there's a difference between Nordstrom's and Walmart. And if
Ooh,
you want
okay,
to
well,
you want to get a quality massage, you want to get it with a place and an individual that has intention for
mhm,
you. And so
hmm
those places, even, and I've been to them too. You can go to a chain or franchise, and there might be a therapist who's there who is like me, that's like a Myesha, who's working there. that can be really good, but they're not going to be there forever. They're not going to be there
Mm.
long term. So when you go back and you want to get that same style again, it's going to be hard because you have somebody else who's there, because they go through so many massage therapists. So it's
They're
like
just going through
it's
the
it's
motions.
literally it's a constant revolving door. So the quality of your care is not going to be consistent because you're
But
not getting the same
same.
style of work for you that just catered to you in the way that it was before. So that's the difference when you go to someone like me
Hmm.
who's in private practice. You're getting the consistency. You're getting the person who is listening to you and evaluating you based upon where you're at today.
Wait,
So,
and I have to say, I have to say, you are preaching here, and this is another random sidebar about massages because when I booked my appointment with you the first time, you had a whole list of things like, drink your water. Like I don't want to give away all your secrets, but you got us prepared. And when I left your massage days later, I didn't feel I like you released things, but I didn't feel the same kind of pain. Now, on a flip note, I I have gone to one of those places, I'll say like at the mall or something. Um, I just, just to do something with one of my girlfriends, and I swear the lady jumped on my back. I saw a bar hanging from
mhm,
the
you had that Thai massage.
Girl, I saw the bar
Yes,
hanging and I said, huh, that's interesting that there's a bar on the ceiling. And
yes,
then, all of a sudden, I'm getting, I'm a full size woman. So I'm on that thing. All of a sudden, I said, good Lord. I said, did this lady just mount me like a horse? I was like, I
yeah.
think she's standing up on me, Jesus. I said, what
Oh
is going down in here? Do you know, I felt messed up.
no! Oh
Oh my goodness,
no!
I said this lady done paralyzed me. I'm messed up. I didn't know. I didn't know what to
Oh
do. Like you're initially shocked and you don't even realize how messed up you are until you
That's
go home.
wild.
And that no, and honey, they have several of the big malls now, from Westfield to the Auburn Supermall. But any girl, do you understand when I say? I was like the next day I said, "Oh, my friend was trying, but this was awful for me because now I'm hurt. I'm like I'm broke down." So when I had a chance to come to you and then to see the difference, I was like, "Oh, no, not never, not never
yes,
again." I
You
said
know,
she was
so
mounting me like a horse.
right. So that goes into, so what would how does someone prepare for their first massage
and
appointment with you, Myesha?
so even for to book with me, and I'm gonna be totally honest, like at this point, I tell people
Hmm.
reach out to me directly first. So if you want to see
Hmm.
me, please, message me. So message me either on Instagram or message me directly on my phone. You can Google me. I always tell people that that's my biggest claim to fame because the girls got
Yeah,
over a
he
hundred
said,
reviews
"Google."
online. Like
Woo!
have the review. Look at my reviews because that's gonna tell you what you need to know about me
Hmm.
before you come and see me, so you can know if I'm a fit. And if you
Right.
still are questioning it, like have a conversation with me because when I talk to you, I'm going to talk to you and see like what your experience is with massage, what's the difference, what I do, and I kind of have a conversation with you to see even if this is a good fit of what you're looking for.
Mm.
So, I'm not the run of the mill place that like just because you can pay me, I'm going to see you. That doesn't work at my office. There's a difference between when you're working, for the money and you're working with intention and purpose. So that's the
Mm.
difference with my business
Message.
too. It's like,
Run that back again, Mike. No, run that back again, girl.
yes. So I said there's a difference between when you're working for the money and you're working with intention and purpose. And
Bam. Mm.
and at this point in my life, I'm so grateful that I can truly walk in authenticity and everything that I do. And that allows me to make sure that I can use, my own personal discernment to be able to
Mhm.
say, hey, this is for me if it's not, because I want it not only to be, a good experience for me, I want it to be a good experience for you. So it's like, hey, let's see if I can help you with your needs. Are you open to that? And want to make sure you're truly comfortable. So most of the people are excited, are comfortable with me before we even meet, because I make sure that we have that. It's not just like, oh, I got my visa. Here you go. Book the appointment.
Right.
Like, so that's something that you kind of notice right away with me too.
Okay.
If and it's like I tell people that all the time. And sometimes that throws people off because
Right.
we're so conditioned to have something be a certain way. Or it's like, oh yeah, I don't have, the full front desk desk and, receptionist and all these things too. So some people are like, well, this is not professional, but how can you say I'm not professional and I've done thousands of massages and I've been doing
Yeah.
this for over 10 years and I'm highly reviewed and I'm one of the top black practices in Washington State. Like,
Oh
Right.
you're
yeah,
like,
no,
what,
no.
like, how can you
Yeah.
say that? But so it's like, we have to get out of those, things too, where even like we can gatekeep each other even in the Black community,
Oh, girl.
like I've
Hmm.
had that from people who've seen me and said, like, you don't talk like other massage therapists, or you don't do this like other massage therapists. Well, why did I need to fit that box for you to respect the work that I've done when I've gotten the results for you that were better than the other places that you've been?
Oh, and a
uh
Hmm.
quick little
Hmm.
sidebar, because when you said it's intention, or Myesha and I met at a event years ago in Seattle, and she had told her story, and so I just, what I'm saying, related to it, and we just clicked, and we just hit it off from there, not knowing that I would need her services.
yeah,
A
not at
few
all.
years later,
Yeah,
yeah,
No,
and
no,
we
no.
know,
A
yeah.
month, like less than a month
less
later.
than a
Like I
month
had
later.
I went in for a
Wow.
massage, and then
Yeah.
less than a month later, I was in that major car accident, and then
Mm.
our journey started from there.
Yes. And
So
that's
Wow.
how
you
you
just
know
never
too.
know.
And I'm an energy worker as well. And so I tell people that I'm like, I believe, the universe provides and everything happened for a reason. I was supposed to meet her just like she
Mm.
was supposed to meet me. Like we have built an amazing friendship, and and I love her so much, and
Love
through
you too, girl.
yeah, and being able to watch her grow and flourish, and the same for her for me. Like she met me when I
Mm.
had my little tiny office to me having a larger space now and
Mm. You
having
got
a totally
rooms,
different vibe
girl.
and
You got
ambiance.
rooms. You got
Yeah,
rooms. You got rooms. You go
Yes.
from one room to the next
Yes,
room. I mean,
Myesha
exactly.
inspires
fancy.
me.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
now I know we don't have that much time with you because you really are booked and busy, and we are beyond grateful. But we know that there's that sisterhood, and I'm newer to the sisterhood with these ladies, with Maya and Monica. But what I do know is that you are excellent. But as we have to wrap it up because we don't have you all day, even though we could, and we need to do happy hour sometime soon. Uh,
yes,
but I just wanted to find out because I saw a post that you had made on Instagram, and I want you to make sure you give out. You told people to Google you, but before we're done, when we're wrapping up, you need to tell people how to find you directly. And of course, Monica will put the links in our show notes. But I saw you on Instagram the other day, and I mentioned this point to Monica, it's that the seasons are changing. And when it is winter, no matter, if you're up north or if you're someplace where it's cold, you're just not out as much as you were. You don't see the sun as much as you do. Seasonal, that
depression.
sad, yeah,
Hmm.
that sad, it's called sad or whatever, where you get that depression is real. We all
Hmm.
fight it, especially if you've ever spent a winter in the Northwest. You get it. It's gonna get gray. You're gonna be inside. It's gonna get cold. And I
Hmm.
heard you kind of speaking to people about that. I want you to kind of talk to people about really why, if you're feeling kind of depressed, why massage is good, and also will you give us some tips on how
Yes.
you are practicing self maintenance and self care this year for yourself, girl? Because I saw you
Yes.
out here. I saw you were someplace sunny. So that's
Oh
all I'm
yeah, I
saying.
just
That's
got
all
back.
I'm
I
saying.
just
That's all
got
I'm
back
saying.
from vacation. I took a long one too. I was on vacation for 3 weeks, so I was beautiful.
Ooh,
So
Ooh,
yes.
girl.
but yes, I definitely, the seasonal depression is real. Like people, if you've lived in the Northwest, you've had it at some point in time. Nobody's exempt. Like it just comes in waves. So it's like, today might be a day tonight, the tomorrow might not, like it might be
Mhm.
only a couple days a month, it might be no days a month. Like we can have where it fluctuates. And that's another reason why maintenance is so important. It's really hard to sometimes tell when your body is away, when you're just content, you're comfortable with that. So it's like when you get a massage, that actually brings up your awareness of areas that you might need to give more attention to that you wouldn't know if you hadn't done it. And so that helps with your energy levels. It helps with sleep. It helps with mobility. It helps with anxiety. It helps with depression. It helps with, chronic aches, pains, you name it. So I like to tell people I help with so many things, different conditions. And, a lot of times people don't know massage can help with that. So it can help with TMJD. It can help with sciatica, plantar fasciitis, tendonitis, carpal tunnel, thoracic outlet. I help folks with IBS. I help people with fibromyalgia, Crohn's. I have people come and see me, who have all types of conditions, and it helps a lot of people more than what you know, because when your lymphatic system isn't working properly, or, that your blood flow, that affects your body. That causes other conditions or diseases.
It's
So
stagnant. Yeah.
so we want to release that. So you have to do it regularly. So minimum maintenance for every human, no matter who you are, is once a month. So I always tell people that, because some people are like, oh my gosh. So it's like, think about this analogy, like, how often are you maintaining your car? So it's like, if your car is getting more service than you on a regularly in the year, you want to reevaluate.
Or if you go into Starbucks a couple times a week.
There we go. There we go. Because I have people tell me, like, I don't have the money, but it's like, you think about how much money that you spent, going out to eat, that you could have, like, invested in a massage. It's like, maybe you just cut out having a coffee every day, or,
right.
Cutting out a couple times a month that you're going out to eat. And that's your
Exactly.
massage money right there. So it's like, if you want to do it, you have to be able
You'll
to
want to do
value it.
Yeah.
And that's the part that's the hardest, because it's so devalued, because a lot of people feel like I don't need it until something happens.
Or
So
that's
it's
a
like,
luxury. I also think people, oh, it's a luxury. I don't
yeah,
really need
yeah.
that. I can, sit in a massage chair at
But it's
home.
not a luxury to people who can afford it, and it's
Yeah.
not a luxury to people
Who need
who,
it.
are being educated. So it's like,
it's about your
that's
quality of life.
it's about your
Mm.
quality of life. And so for me, that's another reason why I'm going so hard for Black and brown folks, is because I know the things that we face every day are 20 times different from microaggressions. People I see all the time, they can work with big time corporations and have amazing jobs and making amazing money, but the quality of their life is so bad because they're working 50, 60 hours a week, and they're unhappy and they're depressed, and their boss is abusing them. But because they're accepting those microaggressions every day, they just feel like that's normal, that their body is tense and tight.
No.
That affects their sleep. That affects the way that they parent. It affects your relationship. So it's like that ripple effect of how those things, affect us. It comes down the line, and then people start to be dismissive, like, oh, it's just my hips are always tight. Oh, that my family, like everybody in my family has had hip replacement. Like, that's not genetic. That's that.
No.
What's happening here is that you have a repetitive history in your family of people who don't take care of themselves. So that's the part where we want to make sure that we retrain ourselves to really value ourselves individually, and then that way we can be able to help others. So even when that comes to me, I'm a full figure Black woman, but let's be real, I'm very well knowledgeable of mind, body, exercise, all the things. So this is the part where it's real for me and anybody else. Like, health is hard. Like, when you think about, and that's the thing I posted about too. That's the reason why I even said it, because even though I'm a provider in it, doesn't mean that I'm exempt. I'm experiencing the same things too. I'm still a Black woman at the end of the day. I'm a mother. I am going through all the things that are systemic, that are not in my control.
Right.
And so it's like, I have to do regular maintenance for myself. So even for me today, after I get off this call with y'all, I'm going to go do a visit with my doula client. I'm doing mobile services for them. And then I'm off for the rest of the day. I'm going to the spa. I'm going to go get pedicure. I'm going to be getting a facial. I'm getting a massage. I'm getting a scrub. I'm going to the gym. So it's like, I have to plan that time for me too. I have to spend the money for me too. So it's like, there's
It's a
no,
write-off.
so there you go. So there's like, there's no, exactly. There's no exemption for me either. So it's like, everybody, minimum maintenance is once a month, but you might be in a category where you need once a week. You might be in a category where you need every 2 weeks. You might be in a category where you need every 3 weeks, but you're not going to know if you're not doing it.
Okay.
So gotta start.
And so that's why it's like, you have to start, and you have to condition yourself to say, well, you know what? I am at least going to do once a month. So when you're in those categories, when your body needs more, you can be able to make, your own informed decision. If this is something I can do this month, can I make the time? Can I afford it? Is it something that, I can be able to make part of my life for this month? If it's not, let's figure out how. And I really work with people. I do sliding scale. For people. Also, I definitely got to tell y'all about this because I recently received funding from King County to be able to do work for anyone who identifies as Black, and again, Black descendants of slaves and Native Indigenous. So I'm going to be doing 20 free massages a month at my office for anyone who identifies as such. So it's going to be a first come, first serve
Message.
basis.
Woo, honey, wait, you gave
That
them a
is a
plus.
that is a gift. Y'all better get yours. You better get one of these.
And
Yeah.
so you definitely
Mm,
want to follow my Instagram, follow my Facebook. That's where I'm going to be announcing how to be able to sign up for those things.
okay.
It's first come, first serve. You only can get one a month. So outside of that one a month, you would have to figure out how you could pay for a session with me if you needed more with me. If we needed to do a sliding scale, we could talk about that. If you have health insurance, you can use your health insurance. I just do not accept it. That's a common question I get. People like, do you accept health insurance? No, I do not. I am a licensed healthcare provider and I don't accept insurance because my background is in health insurance and it takes too long for me to get paid for a service that I provide to you. So
Yes.
if I do a service to you today, I will not get paid for that service for another 30 to 45 days.
If
So
you're lucky.
if
If
I'm
come on, girl,
lucky.
if you're
So,
lucky.
and they don't pay me the same rate as I get full fee. So
Mhm,
it takes so much time and I make less. And that
mhm,
time in 30 to 45 days, somebody could have seen me 3 or 4 times and I might
yeah.
not have gotten paid but once. So it's like for me, it's not that I don't want to accept insurance, it's that I literally would be in hardship myself
Yeah, it's
for
not a
Right.
my
good
But
business
they
child
can
model.
they can they can
Yeah.
call their
and to do
insurance,
it.
and insurance can
Exactly.
teach
So
them how to get reimbursed.
Hey,
exactly. So and
boom.
that's not uncommon. A lot of providers do that now. So I do give medical notes and you
Right.
can submit for reimbursement and you can use your HSA. That's another thing that's a lot of people have those benefits and you're not using them. If you're working for the government jobs and all those things, they have the benefits. Use them. You're wasting money on having paying months and months and months and months of benefits and you're not using them. So I strongly encourage people use those benefits. I can give you the notes, submit for reimbursement. Same when you go, to places, make sure that you use that HSA. If you have that HSA benefit, take advantage of those things so you can be able to be getting something back where you're working at.
Oh, and be living the best 2024 possible for yourself. Now,
Yes.
Better in 2024.
Yes.
hey, oh, I love, huh? Oh, Monica, I hear you. Now, the only thing is, I love it, girl. You said follow you. Please spell out, make it plain. Act like people got aunties like me. I need it
Mhm.
to be broke down, so I got this information. What are you
Yes.
on Instagram? Wait, what? How
It
spell it
is
out?
my time for massage. So it's literally just like it sounds. MYTIMEFORMASSAGE. And also you can find me the same way by Google. You can find me the same way even on Facebook. They're gonna also have the links for y'all to be able to see me if you want to message me directly. My direct cell phone is 206-816-4288. Again, it
Oh,
is 206-816-4288. I prefer to text me and then we can set a call or you can call me. But obviously I am busy, so a text usually helps work so we can coordinate things. But yeah, I'm a one woman show right now at least. So
mhm.
I'm like that's the way that I handle anything. I am the social media manager, I am the receptionist, I am the customer service, I am everything. I'm the biller, I'm the massage therapist, I'm
Ah,
all
She's
the
the
she,
above. So
CEO.
yeah,
I'm
it's so,
CEO, mompreneur, all
yes,
the above. So I like
that's
to tell
right.
people, I'm like, yeah, like that's a good way to reach out to me. And I'd love to hear from you. So it's like, it's for me, I'm like, I'm so passionate about us. I love to see more people who look like me do and care for themselves for the health of it.
Mm,
Don't just come in, doing things, thinking like the ambiance of a place makes it a better massage. Sometimes even that I have to tell people they'll go like I go to the spas too, but I definitely know, like there's a difference from the quality of work I get. And I do so much work. Please believe I'm very picky on who
mhm.
works on me. So I know who's good at what places, who's not. And that's taken me, some time. So I tell people that I'm like, yeah, it's not easy to find a quality massage. Please believe it. I'm always looking for therapists that can do the level of work that I can do. And it's really hard to find. It's
Oh,
really hard to find. So I'm giving y'all everything that I want to receive from head to toe. I'm loving on head, neck, shoulders, back, legs, feet,
Okay.
everything of the above. Okay,
Okay.
and it's all in the name of us making sure that you walk out feeling better than when you walked in.
Oh, girl, you know what?
Ashe.
I said we love you. Thank you so much, Mai, for spending this
Thank you,
time with us. I mean,
Myesha.
thank you because you were transparent. I want people to know what the difference between real and fake look like. That's real. Because she gave you the
Yes.
contact information. She said, boom, this is
She gave you
206.
the
So that lets you
hotline.
know.
Go ahead, go
Yeah.
hit me up. I'm
Yeah. Thank
wanting
you.
to sing
Don't be
Pretty
playing
Ricky,
on
but
her
I'm not gonna
phone
sing
though.
Pretty Ricky on this.
Yeah, don't be playing on her phone though. Be
Don't
serious.
be
I know
playing
her
on my
voice.
phone.
I know her
I was
voice
like,
is
I still,
delightful.
like, although I am a black woman in business, I
Uh,
still will be a black woman about that business if you're playing on my line.
Thank you. Oh my
Okay.
So
goodness. Because wait,
don't.
okay. So as we get out of here, because we done, people. We done. Thank you, family. Go ahead, hit her up. But I will have to say this. The first time I went to Mai's page, because of course Monika, she turned people on, and you know what? I turned my cousin on. Like you got to do what you got to do. Uh, I was on Mai's page. And I'm looking through it, and she's like, "If you want to," I'm paraphrasing because it's been a while for me now that
Mhm.
went on there. If you want a happy ending, or watch a Disney film. I said, thank
Yes,
you. I said, that's a sister right there, honey.
yes,
Don't
you know,
play with us.
it's
Don't play
very.
with us. Get healed with us. Get healed with us. Give that service. Get that love with us. But don't never try us, girl. When I read that, I knew. So, you know what? I just loved everything about that interview, getting together with your sister friends, the community, the love that's there, that is so important. So we definitely want to encourage you guys. Remember, reach out to your group. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, but you don't need a reason to say, hey, to your sister girlfriends and your friends and your aunties, just
Take
remember to
some
show love.
time out for yourself.
Yeah, amen, amen. Okay, so it is Black History Month. Last week we had a good fact for you. And if any of you will go to our social media platforms, you will be able to see that we have a beautiful explanation of kind of how we got February for Black History Month. But I do want to share that it all started with Dr. Carter G. Woodson, and he is known as the father of Black history. And it actually grew from Negro History Week, and it became Black History Month in 1976. So, there's some of you that are listening now that can remember when there was no Black History Month, and then a lot of you have grown up and you've only known February as Black History Month. So, the reason why February was chosen by Dr. Woodson was because that is when two of the people that he credited with helping, whether intentionally or because they had to or out of necessity, but two people that he gave a lot of credit for understanding civil rights, and that was Abraham civil rights with Black history, and helping the plight of the Black American. And one was Abraham Lincoln, which he is February 12th, which we all know because we have President's Day this month,
Mm-hmm.
and Frederick Douglass, which he was a slave, so his exact date of birth is not known, but they do list him as born in February. And
Oh,
so
okay.
that is actually how we got the Negro History Month week. Was in February because February was the birth dates of two men that he thought were really amazing for the history of the people. So that is your random but important and necessary. And why? Because we always hear people talking a mess about we got the short month and all that, but
Right.
it was very intentional. It was very intentional, and sometimes you have to realize it might not feel like it's that much, but it's intentional. You're supposed to be right where you're supposed to be. So I
I
love it.
mean,
February for us. February for us.
this year's a leap year, so we get an extra day.
Hey. see, see, that's what I'm talking about. All
We get
right.
a federal holiday in June
Mm, it,
with Juneteenth.
I mean, it's looking up. We starting to get a lot of Black holidays to celebrate. Even though on Martin Luther King Day they kind of make you work. That's supposed to be your day for like doing things in the community, which isn't a bad thing. But like Juneteenth, that's for celebration. That's Freedom Day.
Girl, you already know the
Mm.
ultimate goal is to get into a place where you are reaping your own reparations and you can have as much freedom and do what you want to do.
Ooh, that sounds like living your life like it's golden.
Okay.
And I believe in that. Okay. All right, Monica. Well, before we get out of here, though, I know you're going to tell them about the business of the week and help them get themselves together.
Well, the business of the week is My Time for Massage. We're bringing back Myesha Mitchell's business here
Whoop,
just
whoop.
because you need to take some time out for yourself. So, whether it be for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones, I mean, Valentine's is right around the corner. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and schedule your appointment for yourself. Go ahead and get a gift certificate for the person that really needs it. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and have your boo buy a package for you
Hmm.
and just get in there, just experience her healing hands. She has healing hands. So just go ahead and try it because it's part of what we call self-care, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also part of listening to your body and spirit. Massage has helped so many um benefits for your
Mm-hmm.
body.
Yeah. And
You
I mean, and
just
she really, yeah, she went over that. I
right.
love that. That's true. Ooh, girl. Mm.
And so you can find her at My Time for Massage. Google will have a link for her website, also her Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and go ahead and schedule an appointment.
Yeah,
Take some
girl.
time out for you.
Oh, I love it. Monica, you said something that was so right, girl. And we're going to have to circle back on another episode. But I like the way you said it's Valentine's Day. Get your person a package, get them several massages. Like it's income tax time. Your money is coming in. Go ahead and run that package so that come June, July, they still have some massages to go get. Oh, I love it. I love it, Monica. I
It's
love it.
a
I
it's an
love it.
it's an investment. I mean, you can go ahead and buy that purse or buy some shoes, but your body's gonna feel much better when you
Amen.
get that massage
Mm-hmm.
and you and whoever is gonna reap the benefits.
That's right, honey. Detoxing, feeling good, feeling brighter, feeling lighter in your spirit and yourself. You're just gonna be better
Vibrant.
company. Yeah, you're gonna be
Right.
better company. I'm here for it. All right. Well, okay. On that note, then, Monica, is there anything that I'm forgetting to tell the people?
No, be kind.
Stay safe and thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Monica, where can they find us at again?
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartMedia, Amazon, and Google Play. And our social media platforms are Instagram, Twitter, which is known as X, and also TikTok.
All right, remember to call your aunties and your girlfriends and say hi.
Hey.
Bye.